So let's jump right into a really big question. When we look at communities of the past that lost their way, what exactly went wrong? And more importantly, what does that mean for us today? Here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get to the root of the real failure. Then, we'll look at the spiritual sickness that grew from it. We'll connect the dots to see how those same symptoms show up today. And finally, we'll lay out a clear path to get things back on track. Okay, so first things first. We can't really talk about solutions until we're crystal clear on what the actual problem was to begin with. You know, the source material here kicks off with a really critical question. When the Qur'an talks about past communities failing, it's actually not pointing to the things we might expect, like them forgetting their basic rituals. So, what was the real issue?
And this is where it gets so interesting. The failure wasn't in their worship. It wasn't that they stopped praying or fasting. The real breakdown was much, much deeper. It was a failure of their entire purpose. They forgot the big promise they made, the covenant, and they lost sight of their fundamental job description, to be a guiding force for all of humanity.
So when you lose your why, what happens next? Well, it isn't just some abstract philosophical problem. It leads to something the Quran calls a disease of the heart, a kind of spiritual decay that sets in. And what is this disease exactly? Well, it's this fundamental shift where faith turns inward. It stops being about what is our mission for the world, and it becomes all about who are we? It's the huge difference between being a global rescue team and just being, a private social club. And just like any disease, this one has clear symptoms. You start to see this ego, this sense of entitlement, this we're the chosen people attitude. People start cherry-picking which rules to follow. The truth, suddenly it's negotiable. And then comes this really dangerous false security, this idea of, we'll be fine, God will forgive us, which just completely destroys any real accountability. Okay, so that's the past, but here's the crucial question. Do we see these same symptoms echoing in our communities right now? Let's bring this into the present. I mean, think about it. For some of us, faith is just about avoiding sin. For others, it's about getting rituals absolutely perfect. Or maybe it's just about being a good person, or simply holding on to a cultural identity. Now, none of these are bad things, but do you see the pattern? They're all very personal. They're all focused inward. That grand outward mission for all of humanity, it's often completely missing from the picture. And what's the result of this? We're always talking about unity, right? We need to be united. But how can you have unity when everyone's working off a different set of blueprints? You can't force it. Real unity has to come from a shared purpose, a common vision that everyone is excited to build together. And this right here, this is the heart of the matter. It's the difference between belief and conviction. See, most of us have belief. We check the box. Yes, I believe. But conviction? That is a whole other level. Conviction is that fire in your belly. It's that deep, unshakable certainty that gets you out of bed in the morning, ready to strive for a cause that is bigger than just you. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the fix? How do we go from just believing something to having real conviction? Well, it all starts with getting our collective purpose straight. This means we have to re-examine a big concept, Khilāfah. Now, this isn't about some political title from the past. Not at all. It's about reframing it as a mission, a living, breathing mission of driving continuous, faith-driven progress for everyone on this planet. It's a journey, not a destination. And the vision for this is, well, it's bold. It's a community that steps up to take responsibility for leading humanity forward, morally, socially, and intellectually. It's not about dominance. It's about service and leadership. And here's the game changer. This mission isn't some extra thing you do on the weekend. It's the very thing that gives meaning to everything else. It connects your job, your studies, your family life. It all becomes part of the same project. If you're a doctor, you're advancing human well-being. If you're an artist, you're elevating the human spirit. It's the glue that holds it all together. Okay, vision is great, but how do we actually do it? What's the plan? Let's get into the practical, 3-step framework for making this happen. It's a really clear roadmap. Step 1, we've got to agree on the destination. Let's unite around the single shared purpose of faith-driven progress. Step 2, we need to fuel up. And that fuel is conviction, which comes from deep, serious, intellectual engagement with our primary sources. And finally, step 3 is unity. But here's the key. You don't force it. Unity is the natural, organic result when a group of people with a shared purpose and deep conviction start working and winning together. So, where does that leave us? This whole framework, it isn't just an interesting theory. It's a challenge. It's a call to action. And it leaves every single one of us with a really big question to answer. What's my role in this? How am I going to contribute to building this future of faith-driven progress for everyone?